Happy New Year. Coffee time. Coffee time in the morning. Coffee time in the morning. Oh boy. What are we going to talk about today, people? It's too easy. There's so much to talk about. So much to talk about every day. And the wife and the puppy. Yeah, so nice. Look at that. Just family values. That's what that's what that is. Family value.
Wife and a dog.
Wife and the dog. Family value. Yeah. But we were watching a YouTube video on why fast food is panicking over higher prices. Good clickbait stuff. And just the general output of fast food industry and why it's getting the price of fast food and shit's getting higher. I mean, it's stupid and it's easy. It's all simple. It's all simple stuff. So the context here was, it's very coincidental, and of course this actually goes to all companies. Every fucking company is doing this shit, because the one greatest event that has happened in my lifetime, the pandemic. I have fucking PTSD. I have it's a cringe word. Every time I hear people talk about COVID or pandemic, it fucking makes my head hurt. It's like, shut the fuck up. But it's the only reference word I have. It's the one that everyone understands. So the Great Panic, I'm going to call it the Great Panic, of 2020, which was no big deal. And I don't care if anybody says, oh, well, people die every day, dude. Who fucking cares? Anyways, digressing.
Just in 2020, when people died, they said it was COVID.
Yeah, everyone that died in...
And it didn't matter what you died of, COVID.
Yeah, everything. Oh, he had the flu? COVID. Oh, he had cancer? COVID. Yeah, digressing again.
Car accident? COVID.
Yeah, everything was fucking COVID. Or they found some way to say, oh, well, he was sick behind the wheel. COVID. COVID brain. I mean, just everything. It's fucking ridiculous. That time frame was a realization moment that our society was fucked in the head. And mostly in the corporate level. And so it's no astonishing feat that corporatism and just absolutely took that shit and ran with it. Just absolutely ran with it. And it's starting to catch up a little bit, but at the same time they're still getting away with it. So what am I talking about? Well, the whole thing is once COVID had happened and these businesses started going off the deep end saying, oh, we got to protect the employees, we got to do this, the policy changes, and oh, well, we need to distance ourselves, and of course forcing the general public to do shit that they don't want to do, and this, that, and everything. Their answer to all this stuff was, well, let's just use skeleton crews. We don't need that many people, right? If we could just make our current workforce,
and the current workforce unsocialized,
unsocialized, and of course, that they can do the same amount of work as 20 people. We only need 10, maybe 15 if we want to really explore it, but. So anyways, corporations, because of these rising costs, that shipping shit that happened? Oh man, the price of goods and stuff? Oh my god, we just can't afford our employees anymore, we can't do it. We can't pay you the same amount of money that we were paying you just a couple months ago. We just cannot bring ourselves, and in fact, we're gonna have to downsize a little bit too. So not only did they get rid of people, but they also started paying either the same or less. And I have my own personal experiences. My wife has her own personal experiences. Mine was, I worked for a tanker company, so hauling fuel and doing some dangerous shit, hauling a bomb behind a semi-truck. It's really fucking cool, really fun. And when all these changes and things were happening, over half of our drivers left because of the now intoxicated environment of wages being cut, bonuses that were no longer around anymore, etc., etc. And obviously, it's like, well, what are we doing here? Like, why are we losing? Oh, well, it's operational costs. Fuel costs more. Da la 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 la. But yet, and every single one of you have been a part of these meetings, right? Where they all pull you aside, they all sit you down, like, oh, congratulations! Oh, highest profit earnings we've had year over year. Oh, we have a 5%, we have a 10%, we have a 20% in profit. Oh my, wow, good job, everybody. Now get back to fucking work. We've all been in these meetings. And then we're all sitting there after we have the realization and we're scratching our head. Or I would scratch my head, but I got a cup of coffee. Still too fucking hot. I don't know if you can see the steam off that. You don't give a shit. And we're scratching our heads like, okay, so you made 20% more profit? Are we getting raises? And you don't dare ask that question, because I guarantee you...
Are you updating the facility?
Oh, yeah, are we getting a new building remodel, or what's, we're getting new trucks, like for us, are we...
uniforms?
Yeah, like, handed down uniforms, new work boots and gloves. No, we're not going to do that. Same as usual, everybody. The fuck you mean same as usual? Like, we have an opportunity to make more money, and I don't care if you make it hard to grab. I know corporations love that. You got a quarterly bonus, but you got to make sure your scores are perfect 10s. The same corporate greed, corporate jargon, that it means fucking nothing to nobody except for themselves, and so on and so forth. And so, going into, I guess, although this is all relative, McDonald's has the highest pricing increase of any fast food, along with Chipotle saying that they were going to be adding more percentages to increasing their price. But, well, okay, for what reason, though? If operational costs are the same, and even if they're not, even if they're just, let's just say 20%, because you can fact check and stuff like that, but the inflation margin to profit margin to a company is exact, like it's crazy. It's huge difference. It's not on the same level, which this is what this means. It basically means that the operational cost is going up, but the product cost is not in the same line on the graph. So the profit or the cost of these products are not in line with the inflation costs. So therefore, let's just use a very basic math term. Inflation is 15%, right? And then, okay, well, in order for us to beat inflation as a company, no, we're thinking logically here, which is the first mistake. But, okay, well, if inflation is 15%, then that means we just need to add 15% to the price of our food to combat the inflation. Or 15% into our employees' wages, so that way it helps everything and stabilizes the cost of not only the increase of price of our food or products or whatever in this case, but our employees also can have a 15% increase, which if you think about it, 15% of, $10 an hour is not much money. It's $1.50, right? It's like, it's not a huge increase, but it is a significant enough increase to at least do something. But when your product price is 30, 40, 50% higher because of this inflation, well, where is it going? Because some people's logic would be, well, they have to do that because, well, they got to pay their employees, they got to do this, they got to do that, That's not happening, though. Whatever benefit you think a company is using the money for, it doesn't exist at all. The proof of that is these meetings that we go to, and where they say we have the best of the best year-over-year profits. Congratulations, everybody. Well, if you're trying to sustain yourself and you're just staying ahead of the curve of inflation along with being fair with your employee practices, I would actually like to see either a very marginal increase in profit, which I think it's in the best interest of a company to stay ahead of the ball a little bit. Reason being is because you should, although I don't believe any company does, but you should have contingency programs in place that you invest that profit that you don't need for into a savings, so that way maybe you can assist with funeral costs for your employees that you think are family members. Oh, we're all family here, right? And somebody dies working for your company for 20 years. I think it would probably be cool if you actually provided some money for those people. Thoughts? But at the same token, just a thing for emergencies. A natural disaster happens and your building gets fucked. Well, you need to build a new building. Granted, you have insurance, so probably would be covered anyways, but maybe you have a premium or something like that. Basically, what I'm getting to is like a little bit of profit is okay, so long as it's saved for those type of circumstances where you might have an unexpected business cost. Makes fucking sense, right? Or I would like to see a little bit of a net loss, which means like you're trying to stay ahead of the curve, but you're treating your employees fairly and you're making sure that their wages are up to date, and we're not living in an archaic world and we're being real here. That's the hard thing to do, being real, and providing our employees with a little bit of benefit of doubt because we actually do care, and we're going to make sure that my employees are taken care of and that we know that we're doing our best to stay afloat. And a little bit of net loss for a year is not going to fucking kill you. And if it does, if any business that loses on net profit, they get killed after the first year, you probably shouldn't be in business. You probably weren't doing it right, were you? Take Disney for an example. Dear God, the amount of money, the atrocious. I'm going to say it's got to be in the $1 trillion mark at this point in time. $1 trillion mark that Disney has lost over the past 4 to 5 years, if not a little bit longer. Holy shit.
And
yet
just keep pumping out movies.
Keep pumping out bullshit. Keep pumping it. Keep just, we spent $300 million on this shit. How much did we make? $4 million? We're fine. Like, it's astounding, and they're still doing it. They're still going. So you can't tell me that your business or your mega corporation can't take a little bit of a financial loss to hold steady on pricing and treating the American people, because that's really what it is, the American people with dignity and respect. It's such a simple thing. And more simplicity to come. So, but that's not the case, right? This logistics, the simplicity of life and sustainment and maintaining of just life in general, I guess you could say, because that's all we are. We're in a corporate lifetime. Oh, that's good coffee. It's just wow. But here's the thing. Watching the video, which I might as well just do this. It's this guy's video. Yeah, so if you know who he is, cool. If not, whatever. I try to credit, right? We had 30% more money made. Where is it going? And then that guy explained that one of the CEOs for Chipotle, I think it was Chipotle, was like, oh, well, 2022 he made $17 million, and in 2023 he made $22.3 million. It's like, how are you making millions more? There's no reason there's no reason to make millions more, and I'll get into that thought process soon. But are your employees making thousands of dollars more? Answer, of course, is no. Is your food prices going down where you're taking that extra money you're making and pouring it back into your business to make sure that these extravagant costs that are out there, Well, because remember COVID. Oh man, COVID just fucked everything up permanently for us, Oh my god. Oh, COVID. You remember those days? We just, the cost just keeps going up and up and up. We can't possibly put my profit towards that to calm the prices down. Couldn't possibly do that. That's not in the books. So I think it's egregious. And this goes into the whole thing, too, of CEOs they've been, of course, looked down on for a very long time. I would say probably even in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, CEOs started getting bad rap, right? It is what it is, but it shouldn't be that way. There's only very few favorable CEOs out there, and even then, I'm sure you could find some sort of back end to them where they're corrupted as fuck in some way, shape, or form. They're just really good at hiding it. But, obviously the whole Luigi thing that happened. Here's the problem. I can't even say that's like a fucking wake-up call. These motherfuckers are so dead and asleep that I bet you they're making fucking jokes about it. When you're that far up on the food chain and one of your bottom-dwelling CEOs gets knocked by some random dude on the street, they're like, did you see what happened to the healthcare guy? Who had that on the bingo card? Oh, you did? Well, someone was paying attention. Oh, that's just fucking funny. How much was he worth? 100 million? Pfft, that's chump change. I fucking guarantee you that's what's happening. They're just laughing about it. Has any CEO come out since then saying, in light of recent events, it's had an epiphany that maybe I should be doing something better for my people and company and stuff like that? Man, really, that healthcare guy getting shot really opened my eyes. I didn't know that the American people were so pissed off at corporate America that it's just, I'm going to do what I can to fix it. And as my first act, I'm going to raise the wages of my employees and do my best to keep the cost of all products either at their current value or only slightly as needed or something. I don't care if a little bit of it is bullshit, whatever, like that, but something. Have we heard this? No. And you're not going to, because like I said, corporations fucking love this. This is the era. This is the golden era of corporate America. It more so than ever before because, one, they have an excuse. COVID, the pandemic. They have an excuse. The next thing that they have is, well, we got the DEI bullshit, we got this, that, so we can be super selective on who we get into our doors, of which means we can get dumbasses to work for us that don't know any better, that they're actually being paid way worse than the people that we had beforehand, and so therefore we can make even more money. We don't need as many people. We can say, oh, COVID happened, so therefore our prices are higher, and then, DEI. God, I fucking love DEI, because then I can grab some random fuck off the road and be like, hey, you look like a special feller. You want to work with us? Si, senor. You can think that's racist or whatever. I don't. It's just the fucking truth. It is. It's just the fucking truth. I don't give a fuck. It's just one of those things where like it's so simple. It's just a simple thing. People overthink it too much, and that's just the gist of it all. But how do you fix all this? Like I said, CEOs had the opportunity to come out and say, we're sorry that the public views us this way, because it's a collective. If you have the title CEO, you're wrapped up into this bullshit, whether you like it or not. You absolutely are. And so therefore, well, what do? Keep your head down and keep trucking? That's what 99.9% of them do. Or do you come out and say something publicly that, we're and try to quell the masses, because everyone's fucking pissed off right now. Everyone is angry. Everyone's got an itchy trigger finger. Everyone is on the fucking edge. Trump is helping the situation by quelling that anger and by feeding the flames of the American people, the general public, on matters that maybe in the grand scheme of things don't fucking matter, but at the same time, that's what people want to hear. We want to hear the mass deportation. Yes, get these stupid fucks out of our fucking country. They don't belong here. They're illegal for a reason. They clearly don't care about getting assimilated into the American way of life. They don't care about getting, paying for taxes and doing things the right way. If I have to pay for my shit, so do you. And that's what American people and just the general public, it's just simple. It's like even stupid to talk about. Of course they're going to feel this way. And it goes and trickles down in all facets. So think of the one thing that you want taken care of. Well, Trump has promised to do those things. Whether it falls through or not is what it is. But we heard what we wanted to hear. And that's all that mattered. And so our flame of rage... see you later, puppy. Our flame of rage has been... quelled a little bit, but it's not gone. And it's only going to take that proverbial straw on the camel's back for something to break, to bust, to drive the American people over the fucking edge. And it's going to be insanity. Will it be just full-scale riots? I mean, should I mention it? I'm going to. I mean, the whole fucking George Floyd thing. Dear fucking God. One dumbass dies, okay? And the whole nation of activists for certain things loses their fucking mind over it. If that type of mentality was with the general public, oh man, we would have already had a revolution a long time ago. If all of us were that just mentally unstable, the country would have already been in flames. Probably 2020 would have been the country in flames. Almost was, really. But so the fix for this, man, and this is what prompted the whole thing too, because I was telling the wife, I said, it's just simple. Like no one should be making over $1 million in profit a year. What do you need the money for? If you can't fucking live off of $1 million a year, you're doing it wrong. You're absolutely doing it wrong. It's almost unfair. Like if you were to give me $1 million right now, not only one would I pay off all my debts, but I'd also give money to my family and stuff like that with whatever residual I had left to help them out too. It's because that's a logical mindset. You could say, well, you need to invest, you need to put it in stock. Fuck stocks. Fuck that shit. It's all fucking toxic bullshit. No, there's no true investment. Maybe buy precious metals or something like that, or just buy Pokemon cards. That seems to be pretty good. But needless to say, going back to the main point here, no one needs to be making more than $1 million. And that's after taxes, right? I'm talking straight cool $1 million in the bank, baby. $1 million. No one, not a single motherfucker on this planet needs to make more than $1 million in their currency a year. Simply. Like it's like I said, it's unfathomable to me to live in that, even in that means. And here's the thing. What complaint would you have? Come on, fire it off. What fucking complaint would you have? Oh, well, I can only make $1 million? Oh. Like what? What? Oh, I'm sorry. You can't buy your mega yacht that's worth $150 million? Guess what? Get a fucking loan like the rest of us. Oh, you can't afford that $200, $300 million fucking mansion? Get a goddamn mortgage. Because as I explained to the wife, I said, well, I can't have my mega yacht. Well, yeah, you can. Just take out a 40-year loan on 20% interest, and you're good. You're good to go. I mean, what? It's like that'd just be like $1,000 a month or something like that, right? Maybe $2,000-$3,000 a month. I don't know. It depends on how expensive the yacht is. But clearly you can afford it. I mean, you make $1 million a fucking year, you're fine. You're good. $2,000 a month, cakewalk. And you still get to fucking go around and say, hey, look at my mega yacht. Would you like to sail on it with me? There's an island I know about. It's really fun to go to. But for serious though, like, you can still do the shit that you want to do, you just can't pay for it outright. And I think that's a humbling moment. I really believe that's a humbling moment for anybody, that you just, I really want this thing. Because guess what? 99% of Americans, I really want that thing. I would like to get that thing. Or in some cases, and actually most cases, I need that thing. Got to take a loan out for it. Yeah. But a failure to realize that if greed, because that's what it is, not so much didn't exist, but was quelled in a way that ensured that it wouldn't get rampant, and that all of this fucking money was poured back into infrastructure. It would be nice to go down the road and not have a fucking pothole, right? It'd be nice to actually be able to go into a building and not see fucking yellow stains on the ceiling tiles and stuff because, well, CEOs making hundreds of millions of fucking dollars a year, but you can't replace the fucking ceiling tiles in your goddamn store, you lazy piece of shit. Like, here's the thing, and none of these CEOs go visit their little stores, right? Or any stores at all. Why would I grace my presence with this riffraff? Fuck that, just keep working. Like, replacing ceiling tiles? How much does that cost? Oh, that's too much money. That's too much money. Preposterous. Couldn't believe that I would spend a couple $1,000s replacing ceiling tiles so my store looks nice. Oh, couldn't possibly imagine that. But this is the mindset. Clearly, this is the mindset. You could say, well, we don't think that way. Any CEO could be like, oh, yeah, we don't think. Okay, well, maybe you are the 0.1% that doesn't think that way, and your stores actually look nice, and your employees are taken care of. But for 99.9% of the rest of the CEOs, they don't give a shit. Clearly, every store I go into that's owned by a mega corporation, i.e. Walmart or whatever else, there's dingy, nasty equipment, or the tiles, or the cleaning. Like, I would be embarrassed as a CEO. I would truly be embarrassed. I'd be going into my own stores and be like, what the fuck? Change it right now. Who's the store manager? Hey, holy shit, the CEO's here. Oh, hi, Mr. CEO. Hi. Why is the ceiling coming down in this store? We put in a thing to get it fixed, but you never approved it. Or, obviously your chain of command never approved it. Like, who didn't approve it? And here's the thing. I would start my ass from the top down, or at least going from the bottom up, like figuring out where the disconnect would have happened. Being an actual CEO. Okay, why is this personal store not doing good? Who's in charge of that store? Okay, what did you do? Oh, you sent it up? Who did you send it up to? Oh, David? All right, I'm going to go talk to David. David, hey, heard the store is having an issue and they sent it up to you. Why didn't you take care of it? Who did you send it to? And, I'd find the whole fucking corrupted line and figure out who the fuck stopped the communication. Well, there was a quote here and I've just been searching for a better quote. What do you fucking mean searching for a better quote? Just get the fucking shit done. Find a company that can do the shit. Get it done.
Make sure they're vetted, that they can do the job appropriately.
See, the wife's still here.
Yeah.
She's been listening. But she's correct. Like, just vet them. Get a competitive quote if you really fucking want to save the company money. Hey, I appreciate that, but this is Walmart. So we have money. We're fine. So get someone, fucking fix this right now. That's part of being a CEO. It's not, how'd the stocks do today? How's the shareholders? Fuck all that shit. That doesn't matter. None of that matters. Because that's just pure profit. It doesn't matter. It just blows my fucking mind. Like, I really hope, and what I say is, like, if I put myself in these shoes of the CEOs, that I wouldn't be this way. I would hope to fucking hell that if I were to have had a successful business, that I just turn the other cheek, in the essence, to my employment and my place of work and business, or just lose my heart and soul. God damn, just... Like, it's just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's so simple. And if I was president, I would put a fucking cap on income. I would make sure that every company, of course, you already have to send a fucking finance report anyways, right? And it's public. Like, we can look up Walmart and stuff right now and see where all their money is going to. Just like the whole Wikipedia thing, where Wikipedia said, oh, we're putting $30 million of everyone's donated money into DEI and bullshit. It's like, that's not what Wikipedia is about.
It's to grab information.
It's to make sure your information is correct. It's to make sure that you have the right information in there. It's to make sure that people have a reliable source of information. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. These fucking virtue signaling, money grabbing fuckheads need to just lose their fucking job. Just kick them out. Like, then that's one of the things I wanted Trump to do, right? We all wanted Trump to do this too. Is with all this CEO hate and stuff and this corporate America getting out of hand, you know, buckle them down and be like, change this shit. And obviously I know Trump is a businessman too and all this stuff, but it's too much of an ask. It is. It's too much of an ask. You know, they have so much power, they have so much money. Well, you don't have any of that without the people. You don't... I don't know if this realization has went, you know, over your head or not, but if you don't have a workforce, you don't have a business. If you don't have employees, you don't have a business. If you don't, you know, have product anymore, you don't have money, and well, that's why you go out of business. And that's why you're in a cardboard box on the side of the street saying, woe is me, I had millions, I had it all, but now it's all gone. Oh. But it is a very simple fix. And I think the problem with it is that a lot of these things that are issues with our lives, there is such an easy and simple fix that it's like, it's to the borderline. If you mention this to somebody, they're just like, that's impossible. It's crazy. Never going to happen. There's a lot of never going to happens that happen, right? Happens every day. But the thing of it is, though, take the most simple solution and it can be implemented. It absolutely can happen. As an example, I always tell people, the dollar bill didn't float down, you know, magically from God above into the hands of humans and said, you live your life by this dollar bill. We invented it. It's an invention of man. And so therefore, man can change it however we want. It's just simple. It's simple. But nonetheless, we're getting off on weird topics and stuff like that, but that was the gist of it all. Companies are just out of their fucking mind, and it's just simply going to take it's going to take some crazy shit in order to really change it. I know people were like, oh, it just needs to be done in a democracy. You know, we need to talk about it. We need to protest about it. That shit don't do fucking shit. The only thing it ever actually does is get your ass arrested because you're protesting, and it doesn't accomplish anything. And unfortunately, we don't live in a world where we can talk to CEOs on a level playing field and have things changed. And have them understand what you're doing is fucking ridiculous, and we need this, and to happen. You could say, oh, that's why you bring in unions. This is why you do. That takes time, processing, negotiations, and all sorts of bullshit. And unfortunately, we live in a time frame where everything has to be done at the snap of a finger. We are an immediate gratification society, where if we don't get instantly what we want right then, right there, right now, well, 90% of the time we're fucking done with it. We're over it. I don't care about this. Fuck it. I don't have time for this. And so, unfortunately, because we also know that these are just dirty, messy, and expensive roads to go down to have a democratic conversation with companies and so on and so forth, unfortunately, the only answer to that is Luigi. Do I advocate for it? No, absolutely not. No, I really wish I really wish we lived in a democratic society where we can actually have the voice that we're supposed to have as our First Amendment and have our right to assemble and make the differences that are supposed to be made as a people. Even voting is a sham anymore. Like, yes, Trump won, but, you know, California and New York practically outweighed the whole fucking United States. I'm sorry. When is it that one state has more power over another state? You could argue, well, because it has a bigger population. I don't fucking care. It's just what the majority of the people say. If 55% of California says we want Trump, well, then that's one vote for Trump. How do you get 256 electoral votes and it should just be 50? 50 states, 50 votes. There you go. If the majority of your state says this person we want in office, there you go. Shouldn't be some weird fucking system that dictates this, and it's skewed, and that's the problem. Even people, even the general public and the people that maybe watch this video would even understand that. Where like the whole fucking United States is red, except for a little bit of blue here and a little bit of blue there, but all because it's in Los Angeles or it's in New York City. Well, they count for more shit. Well, I went off on a tangent, as I typically do. But that was the thing. That's it. I'm good. Wife, you got anything to say?
No.
No. She's a pretty person when it comes to conversation, but all right. Deuces.